Hi guys, good morning. I hope this finds everyone well. And let me make sure my external is muted. There we go. So this wasn't a planned chat, so I'm sure there's probably going to be not very many people on right now. But I just wanted to start talking about a few things with you, things that I've been up to. Um, just kind of bored this morning. I have my ginormous cup of coffee. So happy to have that. I'm going to put some socks on my toes because they're cold. While some people are coming on and get in here. So there. Mo better. All right. We'll just wait and see if anybody shows up. Give it a couple minutes. So what am I up to right now? I am up to organizing some things so I can inventory and see what I have. So I pulled all the spices out of my spice cabinet, and oh my gosh, what a jumbled up mess. I should have gotten a before picture, but the inside of my spice cabinet, it's an old cabinet, and I've got to repaint the inside of it. But trying to figure out what size of containers and things might fit in there, ways to maximize the space so that I can find what I need and I don't have to dig through a bunch of stuff to get to it. And then I'm doing the same for my freezer. My freezer, oh, it's so embarrassing. If anybody saw it, oh my gosh. I'll try to remember to get some before pictures. But like there's been a couple of times my granddaughter has left that freezer door open just enough to where the frost is built up in there and it's not a self-cleaning freezer. So yeah, it's not frost free. So I get to do that now. So I'm trying to figure out what size of bins would go in there because I have my shelves and we have butcher beef. So our freezer is packed full. Not to mention other stuff that we do purchase, like chicken or fish or whatever that goes in the freezer. I want to be able to find what I need and see exactly what I have. So I've got to do some organizing on that. So got to get that done. Been watching some videos. Mouse Toes channel, Sutton's Days, Prepper Potpourri. I haven't watched the city prepping one, but since September is preparedness month, they're kind of doing a collab, which is really cool. And I love listening because even though like I've been prepping for a really long time, there are still things that maybe I knew and I kind of forgotten about, just refreshed. Or there's lots of things that I've found new, still. And so it's always good to have that community to be able to, you know, draw from each other's wisdom and experiences. So I've been really enjoying that, being able to get back and watch people's videos on prepping and stuff. I'm wondering what in the world it's going to be like going into the fall and the winter. Are we going to run into the exact same shortages as we did at the beginning of this mess and throughout this mess? We were pretty well prepped. There's a few areas that had some holes, and of course our preps withered down during that time because there wasn't stuff to keep it, replenished. So I definitely want to start building on that some more. So I've been working on that. Let me see. Trying to go through each medical necessity right now and figure out like a really ideal list of things to have for each area. So I've done the dental preparedness. I've done the preparedness for tummy or stomach issues. So I don't know. I may do eye care next, or I may, since we're going into respiratory, may go into respiratory season. So I may do a video on that. And during my videos, I try to do things that are both natural and pharmaceutical, or over the counter, whatever, for various needs, because I know everybody's different. Some people won't mess with the herbs. I always try to do the herbs first, and then if that doesn't work, then in the herbs and essential oils, and then if that doesn't work, then I go on to the pharmaceuticals. But there's some things just over time that I've not found an herbal, something that really takes care of an issue, as well as like certain pharmaceutical stuff. And so I will go ahead and just go straight to the pharmaceutical on that, unless I hear of something new that I could try. So my big thing right now is I'm trying to get things organized and inventoried. My long-term food storage, like my freeze-dried and dehydrated food, I have an inventory sheets for those, but I don't have inventory for my more working pantry. So I'm trying to get that done and figured out, so that I have a basis, kind of like Prepper Potpourri. Her video that she just did, excuse me, sorry, where she went to, she went through her cabinets of things that she uses regularly, and she wrote down what she would like to comfortably have on hand to last a certain amount of time. That way, if she couldn't get to the store for quite a while, she would have a good supply of it on hand, such as cleaners, sponges, bath soaps, shampoos, whatever the case may be. She went through and just kind of showed her process and all of that. So she had a list that had how many she would like to have and how many she needs to buy to get to that point. So like if she would like to have 4, say, Comet scrubbing cleaner, then, and she only had 2, she would write down that she needed to purchase 2 more. And that way she could compile a list of things that she needed to buy to get her back to a comfortable stage. So that's what I definitely want to do going forward. Some things, with prepping, you know how it is. Preppers say 2 is 1, 1 is none, unless you're new to prepping, and I understand if you don't know, but 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I definitely want to have a backup for my backup, basically, just to be sure on certain things that we just absolutely could not live without. So working on that, rebuilding stockpiles of things that we had depleted during this time, or knocked down significantly. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Cleaning and organizing, and so that's where I'm at. It's been nice to have this burst of energy to work on getting some things organized and cleaned. I'm finding as we're going into the winter months, I'm wanting to, fall and winter, it's respiratory illness time. So not just dealing with the beer virus, so to speak. I'll just put it that way. Not just dealing with that, but just the regular flu and other factors for fall and winter: colds, flus, seasonal things, seasonal allergies. I suffer from those horribly. So I want to make sure I have all of the essential oils and lozenges and all of that on hand. So I'm working on a list of things like that I've got to get. I'm pretty good on lozenges. My granddaughter has a lot of allergy issues as well, so I'm always stocking up for her on just some basic non-medicated lozenges just to keep her throat kind of moisturized. And so I'm working on that, and I'm thinking I will probably redo like her emergency bag, because if we need to grab and go, I want to redo her emergency bag. Want to get that taken care of. And so yeah, lots of things going on. I wish there'd be some people that would say hi in the chat. If you're new to my channel, you like what you see, I'd love for you to subscribe and give me ideas of things you'd like to see, questions you may have on prepping. BC, hi. Okay, well, I understand. I know you're a busy man. For those that don't know, BC Truck, BC Blades, he's awesome at making custom knives. So you need to check out his channel and go over there and subscribe. And he's Mr. Fix-It. He can fix pretty much anything. Got a lot of great ideas. I've got to get over and catch up on your videos, BC, because I haven't been over in a while. So definitely got to get over there and catch up and see what all you've been up to. I see the pictures of the beautiful knives that you create on Facebook, and I just love them. So I'm excited to see what your next projects are. So I hope you've been doing well, BC. Oh, you've got to do that big errand stuff today. He said today's a big waste for me. Walmart, Kroger, Sam's, Lowe's, Home Depot. Yep, I hear you. I'm planning on doing a big shopping trip coming up pretty soon. Hey, Squib, good to see you. Really good to see you. So yeah, I'm planning on doing a big shopping trip to try to replenish our supplies. So I feel for you, BC, because I dread it. I hate it so much. I hate having to get out in all these places that try to push people, force them to wear masks. I feel like it should be your personal decision. So, but yeah, let's see. All right. Bye, BC. It was really good to see you. Really, really good. All right. Be careful. So what have you been up to, Squib? I'm looking at an alternative source for social media that doesn't impede my rights to speak my mind or share what I want to share, whether they think it's true or not. So I've heard about, I can't remember what the name of it is. Something USA or something like that. And then there's Parler, which is spelled parlor. Oh, awesome. Going to the Second Amendment rally. That's awesome. Well, be careful, because I know how that is. With the way things are right now, the civil unrest, it's dangerous times. I'm praying for your safety and the safety of all of those that are attending. Oh, I tell you, everybody's got to be really careful, especially these days anymore. I saw HVS's water system. I'm so excited for him, so happy for him. So I'm looking forward to getting a bigger tour and seeing what all he's doing with the place. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see that. Sorry, I keep looking over at the side chat instead of at the camera. Sorry. But yeah. How far away are you from Lansing? Well, that's good. Y'all are able to carry at the event, Squib? I think it's pretty crazy how people have really people who never who always thought that people who prep are just absolutely crazy are like really into it now. So I mean, it's great that there's a lot more people out there that are working towards it. And if anybody ever has any questions, I may not be able to answer them all, but I will help you the best I can. And if I don't know, I will. I have so many friends out there that do the same thing, and so I'm sure there'll be somebody that would know it. Oh, 90 minutes. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're going. I need to. We haven't really had any rallies around here in a while. Or I always hear about them after the fact. It's frustrating. But yeah, I'd like to attend some rallies and things. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Squib says he'll be opening carry two different pieces. So that's awesome. That is a deterrent. That helps a lot for most people. Yeah. I'm half zombied out. I didn't sleep last night because I laid down later in the day because I was just achy. Anyway, and I slept a little too long, and then I woke up about the time hubby was going to go to bed, about an hour before he went to bed. And so I'm a night owl anyway, so I was up all night. So I guess not real great, but it's all right. At least I don't have a job outside the house to go to where I have to worry about that stuff anymore. It would just infuriate me when I wouldn't be well and I would like really sick, or one of my kids would be sick, and then I would call to try to tell the boss, and you'd always get this guilt trip because, oh, you're really putting them in a bind and stuff. And I understand that, if I called in all the time, but I didn't. And so it would be really frustrating. Oh man, really? The big rally in Washington D.C. in October got canceled. They're going to do it online, so he's not participating. Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. Like, I feel like if people want to peaceably assemble, they should be able to do it, and not be, no matter what. It's our lives that we're making the decision if we want to risk it or not. But I guess it is what it is, huh? So I was going through some of my preps, and we live out in the middle of the country. And unfortunately, a mouse got into one of my buckets of food. I'm so mad. I guess the lid didn't get pushed down all the way. So I had to throw out a couple of bags of rice, and, that was vacuum sealed and stuff. So I'm a little mad about that. But I guess it happens. It's a risk you run when you have food storage. So I'm going to have to be extra, extra careful. Make sure I get ones with super tight locking lids. So anyway, let's see. open carry to kind of normalize firearms, and also because it's 100% legal in my state, that there are lots of good people out there with no bad intentions who aren't breaking the law. Yeah, I'm thankful it's legal here too. In Oklahoma, we're constitutional carry, so I'm grateful for that. I haven't really carried because I don't generally go anywhere. But you know, if I did, I'd probably take something with me. So that's kind of where I'm at on that right now. I'm thankful that we live so far out that nothing major happens around here most of the time. But of course, about the time I'm not carrying would be when it would happen, right? So I need to get in the habit of doing that. So I'm trying to, for those of you that watch this later, I know there's only a couple of people right now, but for those of you that watch this later, what was the things that caught you off guard during this pandemic, whichever way you want to put it, that caught you off guard that you didn't even think about running low on or not being able to get a hold of for a long period of time? I had a good stockpile, and I do have some backup, like a toilet paper. I have a huge box, but it's just like that John Wayne toilet paper that's really rough. It's like wiping your rump with sandpaper. So I didn't break into that during this time. I had plenty of regular toilet paper, but it's amazing that something just so random like toilet paper would be out. Because I mean, I was thankful we had a lot of toilet paper because we were unable to get any to replenish our stocks for probably 5-6 weeks. Every time we'd go to the store, they'd all be out, except for like the kind that, you know, isn't worth even, you know, the monies that you pay for it is better to wipe with than that stuff. So we just didn't buy. My husband bought them various kinds a couple of times. I guess it's a good way to find out what cheaper brands there are that are still decent quality. Found out the Dollar General toilet paper that's the ultra strong was actually decent. Wasn't as great as the Charmin, but it was good. It was all right. So I know we can do that as a backup if we need to, but Angel Soft, oh my gosh, it's not even worth buying. It just falls apart. I don't understand it. Why even put a product like that out there? Who in the world buys it? Unless there's just maybe there's a random, maybe there's a kind that's better than what we got that's Angel Soft. Maybe there's a stronger version of it that I don't know about. But what we got, it was awful. I opened it up and used it like once or twice, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing this. It's back in my reserves, I guess, but really it's just not worth it. Goodness. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna work on going back through our emergency bags, like grab and go bags, and gonna move over to working on my winter kit for my vehicle. I have some of the stuff in there, but I definitely want to put a couple of blankets. I bought a new pair of mechanics gloves because somebody took off with mine, even though they were bright pink. Somehow somebody took off with them. So I'm putting together my winter kit to go in my vehicle in case we get stranded. Always have a shovel for if we do have snow. And of course, always have my maintenance kit and jumper cables and stuff. So just a few things I need to replenish in there, and get ready for my winter kit, and I'm hoping I need to put together a good bag for Chelsea, a go bag. I don't know why I hadn't gotten it done. It just seems like it always slips my mind. But I think I'm going to try to do it this way. Daylight savings time. What I'm going to do is make sure, just like checking the batteries in your fire alarm, I'm going to go ahead and check our emergency bags during that time. So I'll start to compile stuff for Chelsea's emergency bag in case we have to grab and go, and make sure, go through all our bags and make sure what's in there is good for winter. So kind of trade stuff out in there as well of things that we might want to have for winter time, thicker socks, things like that, some things to add some layers. So I've got to do that. I have a massive list, and it just seems like it's never going to get done. But I've actually gotten quite a bit done on the cleaning and organizing end of the deal. And I just feel this prompting needs to get done now. So we'll see. I'm hoping. Is there anything big on your to-do list that you want to get done right away? Okay, Squib says, critters have a lot of free time to figure out ways to defeat our best intentions for storing things. Yeah, it was pretty frustrating, to say the least. Wasn't very happy about that, but you live and you learn. I thought I had them all buckled down, but I don't know if it was me or somebody else in the house, but it is what it is. It's okay. At least it wasn't very much that I lost. I lost one Mylar bag of salt and 2 things of rice. And so that's not too bad. Caught it before it, got any worse. See, the president, the finances first. At the beginning of all this, the only prep that we were concerned about was finances, but it turned out to be a non-issue. So that's awesome. That's good. Yeah, we didn't really, my husband's an essential worker, thankfully. So that didn't really affect us that way, other than just the extra trying to, I guess, help out others, like, family that needed it. So, that was a little bit more, drew from our preps. Didn't necessarily help them with money, but just drew from our preps and stuff. But, it's worth it. Let's see. As far as adult children go and stuff. The night the president came onto the news and declared a state of emergency, I went to the store to 11 and people were freaking out buying everything. Yeah. And you know what's funny is I go to the store literally once a month. My husband sometimes picks up a milk or a bread. But other than that, most of my fruits and vegetables are either canned or frozen. Because we live so far away from town, I'm not going to drive every week to town, almost an hour there and then an hour back. I'm just not going to do it. That's a waste of fuel, waste of my time. So I compile a list throughout the month. So people were looking at me like I was some kind of hoarder, and it was just our normal monthly grocery shopping. And so that makes it really hard when they were putting limits of 1 or 2, like 2 of each item or 1 of the item, when you're only going to the store. I mean, so I was really grateful that we do have, a fairly good running pantry, because I don't know what we'd have done. I would have had to have spent the extra money to drive back and forth and the extra time, and they probably still would have been out what I wanted. So anyway, if y'all are out there, say hi in the comments. I want to know who's out there and visit with you, see what's going on with all of you. But yeah, so I'm just trying to play catch up and get some of those things that were harder to get, so it depleted, some of our inventory, and get it back to a comfortable, real good, comfortable. I like to have 4 to 6 months at least, and we ran out a lot quicker than we would have normally, and that was with our granddaughter had been living with us, but she went back and stayed with her mom during that time. So other than she'd come to my house like 2 or 3 days a week to do her online schooling, that was it. So it was, but my son was in a motorcycle accident, so he was here, and I swear he's got hollow legs because he eats and eats and eats and eats. And so we went through our stuff a lot more quickly than we would have otherwise, because he's been about, I guess, maybe 4.5, 5 weeks here. He ended up leaving after about 4.5, 5 weeks. So, yeah, that run us a lot drier than it would have. So, I'm definitely, I've already got my list of stuff I've got to get to kind of help. I like being able to get like the multi-packs of the canned goods and things like that. I'm going to get some frozen corn and then dehydrate it and put it in, vacuum seal it in my containers and stuff so that I have it for long-term storage. Because I don't mind like the dehydrated corn and carrots. I actually love the dehydrated carrots because it like concentrates that flavor. So in soups and stews and noodles and things like that. So I will be doing that for sure. So, what else? I'm going to try to do some refreshing on my medical knowledge because it's been a while. I went to the Patriot Nurses Academy, but it's been a long time, and it was like maybe 2009. So I really need to refresh on all of that for patient assessment and stuff. Because, if things do go south again and they're shutting doctor's offices and things like that, I want to be able to assess whether it's an emergency or not, because I really do not want my family going into the ER if they don't have to. Whenever we did have, I don't live in fear over the virus, but I just, I do have some health issues that would put me in a higher risk factor. So I just don't want to increase my likelihood, I guess, of contracting it. We did actually have a beloved community member pass away a few weeks back. So, and he didn't have any risk factors except his age. That was it as far as they knew. So, we've been really blessed. Our county has hardly had any reported cases. Maybe like 30 altogether, and most of those were definitely non-serious, non-hospitalizations. Pretty much stayed at home and recouped fairly quickly. But this one gentleman, it really, it hit him hard, and at first he thought, oh, I'm all right, and then he was gone. So he just suddenly woke up and couldn't, he just had a hard time breathing. Otherwise he felt fine, but he just felt like he couldn't catch his breath, and went to the hospital, and they admitted him, and within a few days he was gone. So I just, I don't live in fear over it, but I just want to be a little cautious. Most of the time I don't go anywhere, so my risk factor is very low as far as getting exposed to it. What in the world? Don't know what I did there. But yeah, I've been looking for sales, but I guess there's just not anything really decent on sale here lately, and the prices have gone completely nuts. Our monthly grocery shopping bill, which I did get a couple of extra things, but really not much, and it was almost $200 more. It's like things have gone up about a quarter to a third on most stuff. And so that's a bit frustrating. So, and we've got hunters that are going to be coming in this fall for deer season. So I want to have some things stocked up that would be quick but hearty for them. And then holidays are coming up, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I'm trying to plan ahead and pick up a few things for each of those events as well, so that we have some of the things that we love that doesn't feel like a holiday if we don't have it, kind of a thing, some of the special foods. And so working on getting that done so that we have that. I normally would go to my mom's, but she passed earlier this year for Thanksgiving, so I'll just be doing Thanksgiving here. So this ought to be pretty interesting. And but last year I did go to a friend's house instead of going anywhere locally, so that may be what we do again this year. I don't know. I don't want to just like barge in on their holiday either. So, but that's kind of what I'm doing, is just trying to think ahead a few months what we're going to need as far as meds go, cold and flu meds, essential oils for those things, muscle rubs. I was lucky, Young Living, the tube of pain relieving cream that I buy is expensive. It's $45, but I cannot function without this stuff. It's the only thing that really helps. And so it's called Cool Azul pain cream. And so I ordered some, and I'm so blessed because they accidentally sent me another tube later in the week. And I called them and they said, just keep it. I was like, yes, that saved me $45, and it got me through. I usually go through a tube every month and a half or so. So it saved me on that. So I was very happy for that. So I just encourage everybody to look to what you're going to need a few months down, because if things start getting really bad again, I've heard some areas are already getting shortages again on things. Some people still haven't had certain things in stock, like isopropyl alcohol and things like that. So the cleaners were wiped out again the other day. Yeah, I think so too, Squib. He says, I think 2020 has given us a good opportunity to run a drill to see how effective our preps are. Agreed. And he said something that affected us was having the barber closed for 5 months. Yeah, so you could probably use some clippers and thinning shears. I cut my husband's hair, and I'm not, I used to be, but I'm just not really one of those have to have everything just perfect, my hair and makeup on and stuff like that anymore. I don't work outside the house, so it's just like sometimes I'll fix myself up, but most of the time I don't. So I'm not a real high maintenance person. So for me, I can go for a long time without worrying about getting my hair cut. I did, once the shops opened back up, I did go get a trim and a shape so it wouldn't look scraggly. But other than that, I cut my husband's hair. Excuse me, it's not the greatest, but I cut it, and I have for years, because it's just silly. We live so far out. It's really crazy for him to drive all the way to town, almost an hour, just to get his hair trimmed. So I do that, and he doesn't seem to mind. So I even do his bushy eyebrows with the little adapter that goes on it, just to make sure it doesn't get old man bushy, And so it works for us. But I don't know how much I would attempt to do a woman's hair, or somebody that's really fussy about their hair. I think that would be a good plan. But yeah, dentists and eye doctors and all of that. Lots of them were closed. And I understand partially why, but dentistry to me is essential, because if you have bad dental health, it can affect your heart. It can affect all the systems in your body if you're not taking care of your teeth. So it just kind of floored me that they had dentists closed. But I am gonna work on some more videos and try to give people some ideas of things that maybe they hadn't thought about as far as for their preps. Definitely need to restock up on some nitrile gloves, and I have a few N95 masks, but that's about it. I need to get some more masks. Otherwise, I'm pretty good on my medical preps. Short of like a major trauma, I'm pretty good. I do have some trauma dressings and chest seals and things like that, but bandages and gauze, like big gauze, when somebody has a bad injury, that's one of the things that I find you go through a lot more quickly than you think you would. So I want to get some more on that, some more of the vet wrap that sticks self-adhering, because you go through a lot more of that than you think you would as well. But I'm pretty good on medical preps on most of my stuff. I have an otoscope, I have a stethoscope, I have blood pressure cuff. Might need to get a child cuff. I can't remember if I have one or not. So these are things that I'm going to go through and organize better, and print out an actual itemized list on everything, just to make sure I know exactly what I have to determine what all I need. So that's where I'm at. Well, I guess since Squip's the only one that's going to talk to me, I guess I'll get off of here. But it was really good to see you, Squib. Love you bunches, and I'm glad you're doing well. Enjoy your time at the rally, and I guess I will see you all sometime soon. I'll probably make a vid. I don't know how often I'll go live, but I'll probably make some vids and just put them up. It just takes so long with our internet server. Literally a 3-minute video, a 5-minute video can take 3 hours or better to upload. It is so ridiculous. So that's one reason why I haven't put out a lot of videos in a while, because it is so frustrating. I'm going to see if I can get our internet company out here, because it used to be so much better, and it's just not anymore. And that's frustrating when you're trying to do something to help people out. And so yeah, I'm gonna have them work on that, and then if that happens and we get better quality internet, then I may do some more lives, with specific topics in mind. So it's just a random good morning coffee, hope y'all are doing well kind of a chat, and just updating you on what I've been doing. Health wise, I'm feeling a lot better. I have my bad days still, but feeling a ton better. So finding a combination of things that are natural, that are helping me, and so I'm grateful for that. So, well, I love you all, and take care. And if you have any ideas or suggestions on things that I should maybe add to my preps, put it on there. Or things maybe you realized you ran short on during this whole situation this last year. Just, it's a 2020 thing, 2020 bites sometimes. So, all right. Well, I love you all, and take care, and God bless. Bye, guys.